let me say my own now. You first 50-50. I don't want 50-50. Your husband makes like millions more than you, millions of dollars more than you. Why do you feel the need to carry this burden? Because you want to feel like you're independent.
I feel like who earns more should
bring more.
Yes,
Like,
regardless of if it's the woman or the man, whoever earns more, she might not be more.
50-50.
Because I mean, imagine the woman is earning $1 million and the man is earning 200K, and then you expect him to do everything. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, who earns more should bring more. But please, my husband should earn more.
I don't even think women generally would go for anybody that is not earning more than them.
A lot of men cannot date people that earn more than them. It's an ego thing. Like, no. Even when they say it's okay, at some point, no, they can't. So it's
a lot of men have an issue with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're doing, say, 50-50, you and the man are doing 50-50 financially, are you also splitting the chores 50-50?
That's what she said.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of That's What She Said. My name is Teniola Aladase. I'm a Nigerian actor and producer, and I will be your host today. Now today the topic is the future is female. Can women really have it all? You know, leadership, balance, success. With me in the studio today, we have two ladies, very lovely ladies that I'm very excited to be talking to, you know, but I'll allow them to introduce themselves. Why don't we start with you?
Hi everyone. My name is Sufiat Momo. I'm an actor, a baker, everything entertainment, chemical engineering graduate. Hoping to explore the corporate world soon.
Okay.
What else? I think that's all for now.
What do you like to do for fun?
I like to sleep. Let me know.
I love to sleep, my sister.
I love sleeping. I love eating. Actually like going to the movies.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like going out, but once in a while, not so much, just keep the balance and just keep the flow.
Hi everyone, my name is Precious Inifade. I'm a chemical engineering undergraduate, Covenant University, in my 4th year. Yes.
We call ourselves Eagles, guys. I'm also from Covenant University. Just
help me here.
Don't feel left out.
It's okay.
What do you like to do?
In my free time, I'm a hairstylist. When I have free time, I like to make people's hair. So that's
cool. Okay, so when you guys first heard this topic, what did you think of it? Why were you interested in having this conversation? We know that for decades, people have been saying women can have it all. Do you think it's a myth, or you think that it's just another pressure that society puts on women?
I think that has to be decided by the individual female for herself, because having it all means different things to different women. So people have different priorities.
Yeah.
So for someone, having it all could just be her having her family, and that's it for her.
Yeah.
But some other people, they want their career, they want success, they want everything. So I feel like knowing what you want in terms of having it all will determine if it is like possible to truly have it all.
Okay.
Well, I actually think that even with the relativity of it all, you still can't have it all. At least not in Nigeria, because I don't feel like the system is built to work against us. Yeah, because when you say having it all, I know you say family. I mean, her just having a family and being a stay-at-home mom, that's fine. But I mean, we see situations where they tell you, "Oh, how can you be a stay-at-home mom in this economy? I mean, your husband is doing all the work and you're just there." I mean, if your husband is fine with it, there should be no problem.
It should be no problem. Who divorces it?
Yeah, but society doesn't see it like that. And then when you say, "Oh, you want to work," they tell you, "You are doing too much."
Yeah.
It's just a lot of pressure, honestly. I know when you say, okay, you want the work-home balance, that one too is still a problem. Because no matter how you look at it, one end is going to suffer. So,
but does the society really have to have such a huge impact on your on your decisions? Like, you should be able to make decisions for yourself, regardless of whatever the society is saying. And I think that's one of the things that women should factor into when they are trying to make decisions for themselves. Like, you don't always have to consider the society, because at the end of the day, they are not living your life for you. So I think if more people do that, then you'll be happier with yourself if you consider the society less.
Oh, it's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, in my opinion.
You have family, you have extended family, you have friends, and people are talking. And you really cannot just, say, "Oh, no, I'm not listening to what people are." Even when you are not listening, like subconsciously, you're picking up these things. So...
And there are just certain barriers that are rigged against us in the society. My industry, unfortunately, doesn't have a lot of structure. And I personally, I was having a conversation with my brother a few months ago, and it came to my realization that I mostly work. I don't have time for a lot of other things. I work, say, I could be on set 8 a.m. right now, on set, and I don't wrap until, say, 1 a.m. That is my life. And I'm working Monday to Sunday. That's how it is. And I was thinking really recently, I'm like, is this, I want to be with somebody. But my brother was saying, you are always working. Why will you even meet the person when you're always on set? So that is what I'm thinking of. I'm just thinking my life has no balance, if I'm being very honest. I love my job. I really do love my job. But the fact is, I want to love somebody. I want to be in a partnership with somebody. I used to say in the past, it doesn't necessarily have to be marriage. We'll also come to that. But I want work, my career, love life, family. But I've been thinking, is it really possible the way I'm going? Because the industry that I am in doesn't necessarily, e.g., let me give a perfect example. A lot of the times when women in my industry get married, some people see it as, okay, let me paint a picture. A woman gets married, she's now married, she's trying to do well by her husband and her family. Normally, on a regular day, when she was a single woman, she will come to set at 8 a.m. if people like rap at 2 a.m. But now she's telling you, oh, I have to leave at 9 p.m. because I have to go to my house. I have to go to my husband and my children. People sometimes see it as her being a diva. They see it as her being difficult. Oh, since she married now, she cannot stay on set till late. No, like a bunch of people don't understand that it's because she has other responsibilities. They don't choose to understand that.
I've noticed that in Nollywood, when women get married, we see them less. I mean, if we're seeing them 90% before, we're seeing them 20% now. And do you think that that's the reason, or do you think it's more from the family side, or it's more from the industry side per se? Like they're not hiring them because they know now their attention is divided and all that.
I think a lot of the times it's because they're trying to balance their professional life and their family life. They're also trying to invest a lot they've invested a lot in their career, but because now they have a family, they're trying to put all their energy into that for the time being. I have friends that have gotten married and have had kids, and in this industry, they had to take a backseat because obviously you're pregnant. You can't be, it's not every character that's pregnant. When you are heavy 6 months pregnant, you have to take some time off. But when they now try to get back into the industry, it can seem like a chore. Because you've been gone for a minute. People have a really short term, what they call it, span. They forget you. So when you've been off the what they call it for, say,
the grid,
1 year, 2 years, to now come back, it is a chore. Other people the other actors have popped up. So it is really a chore for women. It's like everything is just, there are so many barriers in front of us. Everything is rigged against us.
In my field, I'm currently on internship, and the only challenge that I think we have is, number one, that maternity leave, going home for your maternity leave. Then when you're now resuming, you realize, oh, they've taken you to the back, or they've not, like, it sets you back in your career.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any way around that, except it's either you decide, oh, you're not ready to give birth yet, or you give birth early before you now decide to invest all your time in your career. So yes. And I found out that they actually have paternity leave for fathers.
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
I think in Norway and in Nigeria.
In Nigeria is what I'm saying. I know it's in
I think Lagos State for civil servants.
Less 3, I think how many days, or
3 days.
14 days, yeah.
14 days?
That scheme of skin is really irrelevant.
14 days for paternity leave, days.
Right.
14 days,
for 2 days or 2 weeks.
I mean, apart from even the maternity and paternity leave, there's still the childcare support. Because now, I mean, let's say you work in 9 to 5, like a proper 9 to 5, no hybrid, and then you get pregnant, you give birth, you have 3 months, and I think people forget that 3 months is very crucial. You're trying to raise your child, you're breastfeeding, a lot is going on with you. And then now, okay, we're saying there's paternity leave for 14 days. What is the 14 days?
What are you going to use 14 days to?
They have to up it.
And then when you finish your maternity leave, they're supposed to resume immediately. So you're basically going from being a mother, like being so stressed out, and then just train yourself back into work. And then you're coming back to work, there's so much work to be done, or maybe they've taken your team and they've given your team to somebody else. So now you have to start from the ground up. It's a lot of stress. And then you do that, you go back home, you have to take care of your 3-month-old baby.
Yeah.
Your husband there's no paternity leave for him because 14 days is not considered anything. So I think we have to put structures in place that actually make sense. I think give the men longer periods so they can actually balance it out in their family and say, okay, you know what? Let me stay for the 3 months, and then when I go back to work, you can come like on leave, or let's do it together. Let's bond with the baby and all that, because it does not make any sense. And then there's still the childcare. I don't think I don't think the Nigerian Labour Act actually mandates employers to actually give people childcare.
I don't think so.
It will make so much sense that if you have a 9 to 5, there's a crèche. I mean, if it's a big
in a big NSA organizations have that.
Yeah, there's a crèche in the company that, I mean, maybe when you're taking your child from school, you can just come and drop them back, because safety is another thing. I mean, there are a lot of house girls and all that, and just nannies and the rest. Like, it's not really safe. And I cannot have family members and say, oh, come and stay in my house and come and take care of my children and all that.
Not everybody's even willing to do that.
Exactly. So it would make more sense that there's a crèche there and I can just drop my child there, and I know my child is being taken care of while I fall somewhere. Or just give us stipends for childcare support. Let's go on. But crèche is expensive, you guys.
Not even just crèche. Childcare in general is very expensive.
I mean, I think my auntie was like, oh, her daughter wants to start crèche. And I was hearing 5 figures. I'm like, for crèche, for that little human there.
Well, there are lots of cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fair. I mean, so that's another one. And then, I mean, there's the whole on equal pay, and let's even forget salary. There's when it comes to promotion.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys have watched Lara Unlimited.
Yes, I have.
So, I mean, in that scene, and she had worked hard. She had worked really hard. She had put in the work. The money was coming into the company. They could see her work. And then it was time for a promotion. And then they gave it to a man that had not even brought her at all.
Not even
she had
brought.
brought. And then when she asked why, they said, oh, it was because he was married and had children, and she was single.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I put in all the work, but obviously I'm not married, so I don't deserve the promotion. And then she has an outburst, and they're saying, oh, then this is why we didn't.
This is why we didn't.
But like, her outburst was valid.
Yes.
But that's another thing. Women are not allowed to have outbursting. Like, no,
In with
you
the
can't do that. When a man does it, oh, he's going through something.
That's the thing. They even call it an outburst.
Yeah. When a man is angry, oh, he's going through something. But when a woman does it, no, this woman, she's
being emotional.
Right?
Yeah, she's doing too much. I'm like, okay, so now you will say you want us to have it all, but you are not giving us systems to have it all. Another thing is safety. This your IT just remind me of my IT story.
How so?
We guys. So chemical engineering, right? We had to go to a gas processing plant where the company I worked for, they were like subcontractors for like the big guys in the industry. First of all, it was even a problem for me to even go to the gas processing plant.
Why?
Because I'm female. Yeah. I was literally doing administrative work, shuffling papers up and down for like 3-4 months. And I was like, what's going on? When are we going? They said, oh no, you're a girl now. You don't need to go.
Hey.
I'm telling you, I was like, okay, so wait till I go fill for my
Lie
book. Like, what's really happening? I had to keep on pushing and pushing and pushing. And then it finally took me to the gas plant. It was at Ogun State. And it was really lovely. I was really excited to be there because I'd never seen anything like that before.
But you shouldn't even have to push before that is done.
No, that's not even the story. Let's even leave the pushing. I finally got there now. Thank God. Finally got there. Things were going smoothly. So I was the only girl there. So I had my own room. And then there were like other rooms for the guys. And then one night, I was sleeping. This was like around 1 a.m. Somebody was knocking on my door. I'm like, by 1 a.m. I opened the door. And it's one of the guys. And
Like a fellow interns.
No, he was like
A proper staff.
a proper staff. It's like, oh, do you have Panadol?
At what time?
Real low.
In my head, I'm like, should we just want a Chris? Panadol by 1 a.m. I'm like, no, I don't have Panadol. I said, okay, just ask supervisor because he usually has those stuff for employees. And it's like, I asked him, and he said he does not have. I said, okay, me too, I don't have. And he says, can I enter your cell?
Is the Panadol list? I don't get.
Somebody said she does not have Panadol. You want to enter?
Yes.
Why?
I said to do what you say. Let me just come and stay with you. I said, God, have mercy on me. Which kind of wahala be this?
Good.
And now I'm actually very scared because you know when you're in danger.
Yes.
I'm scared. I'm thinking, what can I do? How can I close this door? And then he's like, oh, I said, no, you cannot enter. He said, go back to sleep. We did that for like 5 minutes. I finally closed the door. Now my door, like, it didn't have a lock. So I held, like, I was holding that door because I did not know what I was going to do. I didn't know if I was going to enter inside or do something. I think I held that door for like over an hour. I was just standing there. I was really scared. I can laugh about it now, but that day was not funny.
I can imagine.
I was standing there. I was really scared. I was like, God, please. I was like, oh, if he enters, what should I do? Should I shout? And then, in situations like this, you think about the worst case scenario.
Worst case
And I'm like, what if I shout and then the other guys come? They are all guys. They are like, oh, instead of helping me, what if they try to do something? I say, hey, God, what will I do? And then I start looking around the room for sharp objects. I finally see one scissors. I don't even know whether he's still standing there because I'm panicking. I finally see one scissors there. I was like, okay. I don't know how long I stood there. I quickly ran. I used to take scissors. I sat on my bed. I did not sleep that night.
I say it all the time. Women are not safe anywhere.
I sat on my bed. I was holding the scissors like this. I was like, okay, what's going to worse if this guy enters and stop him? And then I just remember saying, I want to go home. And in the morning, first in the morning, I went to my supervisor's room. I was like, good morning, sir. Because I think it was like a few days to Salah. I was not planning on going home because having to travel back to Benin and then come back again was a lot of stress. And I was like, sir, I want to go home for Salah. I said, I thought you said I'm not going. I said, no. My mother said we need to go to the village. Yes, I want to go. I said, okay, no problem. Me, I knew that. I'm not coming back there. I packed on my things. I said, Chebi said I wanted to come to.
When I explained this thing to a bunch of guys, sometimes they don't understand. I was telling a friend of mine just say 3 days ago, I love taking walks. Anywhere I am. When I don't know if you know Magodo Phase 2. Magodo Phase 2 is very safe. When I used to live in Magodo, I would take walks at 2 a.m. just because I felt like it. And when I moved to Lekki, that was not the case. I did not feel safe. But in the current estate that I'm living in now, beginning of the year, I was like, you know what? Get back on your game. 5:30, wake up. Take walks. If I can't do it in the morning, in the evening when I get back from sets, I will do it. And I remember one particular day, the last day that I said I'm not doing this anymore, I was being followed. But prior to this, every time I'm walking, I have my headsets on, but I keep turning. I just keep turning because you don't feel safe. You just keep turning. You don't know who is going to pop up. And there are a bunch of artisans around and laborers because there's a bunch of construction work going on. And he was like, why do you feel the need to? I'm like, women don't feel safe anywhere. And the final day, it was in the evening. I had finished from work early for the first time. And I was taking a walk. For some reason, I felt these 3 guys were following me. I wasn't sure, but I just thought they were following me. There was no lights in the area, but there were people walking around. And so I was walking past 2 streets. I got to my street. I was meant to go around again. But as soon as I got it, they turned with me. They have been turning with me. They turned with me into another street. And I was just like, these guys are following. So I saw some laborers that were coming like towards me. As soon as they passed me, I dodged and dashed into my house. So instead of passing, I dashed into my house. And then I went upstairs and sat on my balcony. And then I looked at these guys. They got to the end of the road. They turned, wondered where I went. And then they turned back. And I was just like, so they were actually following. After that, I just went to Mega Plaza. I said, please, I need a treadmill. So buy me it. I just bought a treadmill and I said, I'm not taking walks anymore. Women are not safe anyway, but I feel like men don't understand that.
No,
a lot of men don't.
Don't. And I mean, I'm like, what if I actually stayed and finished? Because they were actually doing a project there. And I think it was like 40% done. What if I actually stayed and, finished the 60%? And now if I go for interviews and they ask me questions, I can actually confidently answer. But no, I mean, I don't even know what they did there. Honestly, I can't even remember because what are we saying? And that just brings, I mean, it's still the same thing in workplaces. I mean, there's sexual harassment.
Yes.
And then you're afraid to even climb up the ladder because when I want to go and ask for promotion and then somebody is telling you, oh, come and do this for me or come and do that for me. So, I mean, you're not safe.
There's also pay disparity.
You're doing the same work, but you're being paid less. So it just feels like you have to work twice as hard. Or half the recognition.
Yeah.
It does not make any sense, honestly.
I'm going to bring us back to a question I wanted to ask earlier. If, say, you were in let me not say partnership, you were planning on getting married or you were married to someone and he says, you know what, take a back seat on work and your career and just focus on the home. What is your response to that? Is it something you would consider?
When you say take a back seat from work, you mean like I should leave what I'm doing?
I'm the man. Let me focus. Like, let me take care of our home. Let me provide, and you take care of the home.
It wouldn't work.
Why not?
I couldn't fit.
Why not?
To work because, first of all, I like having my own money. Like, I don't care how rich you are. I just want to have my own money. Maybe
so. You're the opinion. My money is my money. Your money is our money.
No, No, I can share my money when there are difficult times. Yeah, and okay, maybe we are going through financial difficulty. I can chip in.
Not chip in.
But on a normal day, my money is my money. Please. But yeah, I like having my own money. Maybe it's the way I grew up, and the way I grew up, I just saw women and just being stay-at-home moms, and not just having your own money to do things for yourself. I'm like, I don't want that for myself. Right from when I was, my mother used to say, before I get married, if I think of marriage, I must have my own money. Like, I must be financially stable to a point. So, and I mean, I love what I do, right? So, I cannot imagine being a stay-at-home mom.
So it's a no for you.
It's a big no. I can't do it.
For me, the way I like to work. Like, I like to be actively doing something. Like, I actually like working. I don't mind working. So to now ask me to like just sit and just like maybe do house chores or just oversee the home, it's going to be very difficult because it's not something I
chose is work. It's like
It is.
not that
It's
kind
a
of
lot of
work that brings money in. Then and that work that brings paid labor. I actually like doing work that brings money in. Yes, so having to box me into like just house chores, and sometimes don't even have to do the house chores because house chores, I don't think anybody likes doing house chores.
Some people love it, oh. Some people love it.
I have a cousin, she loves washing clothes.
Wow.
She can wash clothes from morning till night.
So even if she had the option of washing machine, she would rather.
She likes washing clothes.
Some people love chores. I'm not one of them, but some people love chores.
I do it because I have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
I think that's the like general one. Like you do it
No,
because you have
think
to.
about it. You just said now that you like paid labor. But I mean, he just said.
What if they're giving you hey, what if they're giving you allowance for doing
The
this?
problem is, do you know the effects that backseat is going to have on my paid labor?
No, but
What if he's like giving you a monthly allowance for staying
that
at
you're
home?
supposed to have when you're working?
Stay at home, don't do your work anymore. I'm giving you 5 million naira per month.
That's real.
For me, it's a no-brainer. No, I can't do it. I love my work. I love my career. I will just tell you we are not compatible. Please, let's move ahead.
I feel like you guys are already married. What were you guys discussing before the marriage? Get married. That's not possible.
Like, women cannot have difficult conversations before marriage. Most people are always too scared that, what if I scare him off or something? But you need to stand around, let him know, that these are the terms and conditions. Do we agree? Do we not agree? Let's know how we are moving from here. But women usually don't do that. Yes, and I think it's a problem. Because at the end of the day, when you now eventually get married to the person and he starts to say things like this, because it's not a conversation you've had early on, it becomes a problem.
Is it a women thing or is it a human
It's a human thing.
It's a human thing.
Yeah, true.
A lot of people don't like to have.
But most men already have it at the back of their mind that, you're supposed to just maybe agree because they're the head of the family. So I think at the end of the day, it falls to you as like the person that is not the head of the family to bring your own terms to the table. Is like so you gotta agree on how like the structure of your home.
Actually, that's actually a very good one, Sha, because domestic labor is not easy.
It's not true.
And I mean, if let's just say you're the average Nigerian that cannot afford, somebody to come and clean and do all that, and then you're doing all that by yourself, you're shuffling in 9 to 5. So I mean, definitely have conversations with your partner. How are we going to share this? Are you doing the laundry? Am I doing this? I don't know. I think it goes back to how we were raised. In Nigeria, we were raised to be wives.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's another
Let's
thing.
talk about
We were raised to be wives instead of leaders or, just successful people.
And it was
I'm teaching you how to do this thing.
Yes.
Get to your husband's house.
Exactly.
But when I get to my own house that I built for myself, but what's my husband's house? You never ask when I want to marry.
And it's mostly the girls doing the chores.
Yes.
I come from a family of plenty. I'm the only girl.
How many boys?
7 boys.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I have experience. I think I started washing plates when I was 7. Although that one I was near, I was like, no, mommy, I want to wash plates. I could never reach the sink.
The rest of them will be doing what?
Wait now. I mean, that time I think it was just 4 of us. My 2 elder brothers and then the younger one. Before they started giving birth to more. And then I'm like, Mom, I want to wash it. And then she brought to Joko. I take Joko. I was standing Joko. I will wash it, please. When I said that, Mama, it's not glamorous. So it's not that's it to feel. And then I grew up. So I had between me and my younger brother, there's a 5-year age gap. Okay. Yeah. So I think when I was 15, he was 10. But I just noticed that when I was in secondary school, SS2, SS3, I was still doing all the work. I mean, I wake up by 5, I will sweep.
And your brothers weren't doing any of the chores?
So more, but I'm like, So when I was like, what's really happening in this family, Seth? Like, what's the really is up for here? I'm like, mommy, what's up now? Like, why am I the only one doing all the children? You're the girl now. You know that. I'm like, so I was like, okay, sharp. This is what you take me for in this family.
That is something that needs to change because we're raising the girl child, but who is raising the boy child?
And it translates to like both genders. Because at the end of the day, such people, they grow up in a way like, okay, the guy now thinks, oh, it's okay for the woman to do all the chores, go out and do.
We're just perpetuating gender roles over and over again.
The woman too, because she starts to feel inferior. She thinks, oh, okay, like I have to shoulder the home responsibility.
Yeah.
It makes it difficult for some of them to even ask for help actually, because they feel like every
gap
that there is, they have to be the ones filling it. Even when it's telling on their health, somewhere they will still be trying to push. And I mean, you don't have to. Like, you can actually stand your ground and request for help. And it's unfortunate if you now land in the hands of a man that grew up in such a family that thinks, oh, you should keep doing the work. Like, why do I have, like, what would it look like for me as a man of the house, start washing plates and doing stuff like that? Like, I think upbringing really does plays a huge role.
Yes, and a lot of women are perpetuating these gender roles. I remember seeing a TikTok maybe 2 weeks ago. This woman was married or is married to a Caucasian man. They live, I think, maybe in the UK or so. Her mother was there to help her to do a mugo. And she was taking care of her child. And her husband walks in. And she basically told her husband, she's tired. He should please wash plates. And he was about to wash plates. Her mother said, what? Never. That what kind of rubbish? She collected the plates from the husband. I said, you should please leave. She now started scolding the wife. How can you tell your husband to wash? I say, he didn't see it. I'm so confused. Because she then said, if it was an African man, will you tell him that he should come and wash plates? I'm just like, we just keep perpetuating these gender roles, and I'm so tired of it. Why can't he wash plates? Did he eat?
Right.
What is the actual issue? I remember doing my let me not say dissertation, my what do you call it, final year project in Covenant University, Mass Communication. My topic was portrayal of gender roles and stereotypes in the Nollywood industry. Because I've always loved Nollywood, but I would watch Nollywood films, and in every single film, I'm just seeing these stereotypes and these roles that are being perpetuated every single time. Is the woman that is cooking? Is the woman that is there washing plates? Is all the man is just going to the office bringing, and I'm just like, women also work. Women also go to the office and bring money out there. I don't get it.
They don't really care about you like that.
I think, for example, in companies where you have shareholders making all the decisions, even if the junior workers bring in their own inputs, it's still those people that have bought shares in the company that are in the boardrooms that are making the decisions. And no matter how much work, effort, time that these other junior officers puts into their work, it's still those people that are putting their money into the business that make the eventual decisions. I think this plays out in homes too. So I think men think because they are the ones bearing the financial burden, they get to make the decisions. And in a way, I understand where they are coming from, because I understand where they are coming from. Let's just leave it there. So I think for women to step up, I think we should try to be more actively involved in the financial decisions. Kiki, she shared a story. I can't remember where I saw this, but I know she was saying it that she was just saying it like, the way we are talking now, she just mentioned it as like mentioning that, because we were talking about men saying, oh, chasing you out of their house because they are the ones paying the rent. So it's fair that they will call it their house. So she just mentioned it like, oh, like I split the bill.
Yes, I remember.
So that he will not wake up one day and tell me, get out of my house. Because we cannot say get out of our house, because they are both paying the rent. So I think if women can and
there was a lot of outrage about that. They said a lot of people said, why is she paying rent?
But it's really going to help her, because really the man cannot send her out of their house. So I think if women can step up to that a bit more. But my only issue with that now is we don't even have the time to reach that level of our career where we are able to contribute, because they're asking you to marry early. So by the time you finish school, you finish NYS, you finish your masters, if you're doing masters, you're probably 23, 22, 23, 24. And that's the same time they expect you to start looking for a husband. So society is really putting plenty of pressure on women.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, oh, you can have it all, but not all.
Exactly. You can have it all, but not too much.
Yes.
Not all, or you can have it all on our own terms.
I think just going back to what you said about women paying Women pay bills now in Nigeria, in their homes. Like women actually pay bills because the economy is not even friendly. And I feel like just saying the man should take care of everything does not make sense. I mean, in my own, I think I still my uncle currently, and in the house, I just know that my auntie takes care of like foodstuffs, everything. You will not see her asking my uncle to do this, and then my uncle maybe takes care of school fees, or like there's just a way they share it. There's this unspoken rule and everything. So women actually pay bills.
But they still need to step up, because some of these women, even after paying the bills, they are not confident enough to come out and openly, like the way Kiki did, and like people were lashing.
Yeah, a lot of people, even when they a lot of women when they pay bills, they're embarrassed to say that they
they're saying, "Oh, let me cover my husband's shame." It's not. Why should it be shameful?
Did you guys see that that was it? I think it was a podcast or an interview with what's her name Gabrielle Union, saying that she does 50-50 with her husband. Do you believe in 50-50? I'm going to come back to Gabrielle Union, but do you believe in 50-50?
At the moment, I believe in 50-50. I can do 50-50. So that, and another thing,
you just see the way Sufiat just look free.
Everybody to their own here. I actually believe in 50-50 because some women, even as they are doing 50-50, even as they are paying their own part of the bills, aside from even declaring it outside, they are also too afraid to stand up to their husband.
Let me say my own now. 50-50. I don't want 50-50. But in the case of Gabrielle Union, there was so much outrage when she said it. And I feel like the reason people were outraged was because they're like, your husband makes like millions more than you, millions of dollars more than you. Why do you feel the need to carry this burden because you want to feel like you're independent? And now I haven't read her book, but I read an excerpt of her book where she says, after like listening to everybody, and she had to do a lot of self-reflection and realize that I figured she was trying to prove herself or prove that she didn't need him to take care of everything. But now they no longer do.
Yeah, but in that situation, can I allow him to?
No, it doesn't make sense. I just feel like
it's actually any more than me. So
I feel like who earns more should bring more.
Yes,
Regardless of if it's the woman or the man, whoever earns more should bring more.
50-50.
Because imagine the woman is earning $1 million and the man is earning 200K, and then you expect him to do everything. It doesn't make any sense. So who earns more should bring more. But please, my husband should earn more.
I don't even think women generally would go for anybody that is not earning more than them.
Well, you never know. I know women are
It's a men's thing.
I feel like more men have an issue with
a lot of men cannot date people that ain't more than them. It's an ego thing. Like, no. Even when they say it's okay, at some point, no, they can't. So it's
a lot of men have an issue with it.
Yeah.
And women
that's one issue I don't mind.
Women have to shrink themselves to fit into that. Because now women don't want to start earning so much that they are scaring potential husbands.
I feel like, in fact, I'm going to give an example. It has happened to me, and it has happened to somebody that I worked with. I remember when I was still a production assistant, the makeup artist on our set, she had bought her car, and she was telling me that, this was before I bought my own first car, and the same thing happened. She was telling me that people were telling her not to buy a car. That she's not married yet, so that she will not chase men away. She will not seem independent. I'm just like, so I should not move around. I should be kind of like catching bus because I want to catch man.
I've seen that in a movie where it was her mother.
It's happening in real life.
Her mother was like, this one that he bought car, so no man will be able to come close to you because they feel like you have too much money, and it actually happens. So
I was told the same thing when I got my current car. They said I should have bought a lower car.
He get a house.
My sister.
It's tough.
Okay, so if we're doing, say, 50-50, you and the man are doing 50-50 financially, are you also splitting the chores 50-50?
Maybe
do you think Nigerian men are ready to do that?
I think that's why women need to still stand their ground. Before you enter marriage, during the marriage, you should learn to stand your ground. Because if you are sharing the bills, why can't we share the responsibilities too? And I feel like in terms of like giving birth and like taking care of the children and all of that, I don't even think the financial part should come into play, because the financial burden is already balanced with regular home duties. So in terms of childbearing, I've given birth to the children. When they get to a certain age, we should be able to split the responsibility of taking care of them. And that even translates to schools. Because schools, for example, they feel more convenient calling the mom. And most of them, it's not like a thing of how will you disturb a man at work? Like men are busy. Men have, even when the man is not really busy, men are busy. How will we disturb a man that is working? Okay, that's not right. And Ibuku Awashika shared a story where at home she would take care of the children, like she would be the one to bathe them, cook for them, and they'll take it to school. But the husband does, after she does the cooking and taking care of their lunchbox, the husband is the one that takes them to school. So a staff in school now made a statement to the husband that that it's only you that we're seeing. We don't need to see madam in school, that we don't
mind their business.
Yes, nothing that's
Precisely.
it, like no making this
Never.
insinuation that she's not like she's
Yes, she's not
lazy
present.
or she's not actively present in the children's lives and everything. It made the husband, I went to tell her. I even like husbands like that. Come on, tell me everything.
Just me.
What like he
about
told her,
us?
and I like the step she took next. She didn't even talk. Apparently, she didn't even talk to her husband. She immediately went to school and confronted the teacher that made that statement. Because that's something I can do. Because why would you say something like that? And well, they got the teacher fired.
Wow.
That's that, and I think that's how
Another
society should
unemployed
move.
person in the
Things like that should not be condoned. Because the more you condone them, the more they start growing weak.
I just feel like I will not say I feel like it's not really realistic.
Why?
Because 50-50 financial, first of all, except you guys are earning the same amount, which is hardly ever the case.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to chores, I just think it would just make sense to have a conversation and say, oh, this is what I like to do. Or let me, well, what do you like to do? Do you like to cook? And even in the chores, you can never be 50-50, right? So imagine my husband is tired one day and then I will not have to say, oh, it's 50-50, oh, you have to do the dishes because that's what we signed up for. So I think it's more about partnership than actually 50-50. Just find somebody that actually understands you and you understand the person, and let's actually just make it work together. So 50-50. Well,
I understand. It doesn't have to be 50-50 now. Any percentage, but
it's
like
never 50-50.
it should be a collaborative.
It should be a partnership.
Yeah,
It should be a
partnership
partnership.
rather than
An effective
a transaction.
partnership.
Because when you say 50-50, it sounds more transactional than
Yeah.
actually just being a partnership and two people loving each other and just making it work together. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot one example I wanted to give, and I'm going to bring it back. When I was saying about would you give up your career for? A man told me that I could not act. Imagine you will not be seeing me on your screen. A man told me that I should not, like, if we start dating, this was the man that was told me, if we eventually get married, that this my acting career, I'll have to drop it. That he will open supermarkets for me.
No. I have the same experience. I've never started acting.
The same thing.
I've not started acting yet. Now, this is not somebody that was in a relationship. Let me borrow from Tini. I was dating this person. And he was like, oh, you like acting? Because I was supposed to go for an audition. And I mean, I was in his house. So I was going to go to the audition from his house. And then the next morning, Baba is giving me attitude. This your acting. So I'm like, audition is by 9 a.m. When I come back, we'll talk about this one. Let me first go for the audition first and secure the role. And then when I go back, I was like, where do you really want to act? What about directing or producing? Don't worry, I'll sponsor it. I'm like, I don't want to be behind the camera. I want to be in front of the camera.
What was the issue with the acting?
You know how I just feel like Nigerian men always feel like, when you say you're an actress, what you think about is you kissing somebody on set or, maybe you want bed scene or the rest. I'm like, there's so much more. And then he was like, okay, promise me that if you act and you not kiss anybody. I'm like, brother, what's really happening here? We have never started dating. You're already giving me rules and regulations. It cannot work. Well, let's go our separate ways. So you want to break what we have? What do we have? What did you think we had here?
Let me not say I don't believe it, but me, I'm not doing 50-50 with any man. I'm sorry. I like to be babied. I like to be taken care of. I like to be somewhat spoiled. I'm very independent. I've been told I'm very independent. The person I'm currently dating said I'm hyper independent. I don't know what that means. But but I like to be taken care of. I don't want to be in a partnership where I'm splitting the bills half. I've not actually dated any man that thinks we should be doing 50-50. Most of the people that I've dated, they love to take care of their families. They love to take care of the person that they're with. But this Mr. Man that say he wants to open a banner for me. It was, when they say you see a red flag. I didn't see a red flag. I didn't wait for a red flag. I saw a pink flag and I dusted my slippers and I said, you say me, it's nothing. Because if I love, at this point, I wasn't even acting as much as I would like.
Yeah.
I was probably getting maybe a role in like 7 months because I was still in production, but I knew that I was going to get there. And if you are saying that you can see that this thing brings me joy, you can see that this is what I want to do with my life, and you have an issue with this, then clearly we're not compatible. But I feel like a number of women would be, especially because he was from a well-to-do family, they were more than comfortable. A lot of women would be willing to do that.
Even this changing surname thing, I don't know when it became a problem.
Have you people seen that people have an issue with Temi Otedola taking her husband's surname?
I was just laughing. I found it very amusing.
Very amusing. Very amusing. I'm just like, can you allow women do what they want?
If you want to change it,
I'm projecting another way.
Feminist.
if you don't want to change your name, don't change your name. It's fine. It's your life. Do whatever you want.
One step forward, 15 steps.
I saw it, and I'm just like, I don't like the fact that women project on other women. You want something, it doesn't mean that's every other person's reality.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that's what they want. Allow women want what they want. Allow them make the choices that they want by themselves.
Yes.
I feel like sometimes we women, we just put too much pressure on ourselves. Like other women just put too much pressure on us.
Even women, like a woman on herself.
Yeah,
Sometimes
just trying to be
more
perfect,
pressure.
yes. And trying to do everything. And I mean, there's nothing like perfection at the end of the day.
That's why at the end of the day, you shouldn't always think of what society would say. I feel like as long as people that matter to you are at peace with your decisions, and I feel like people that love you would always support whatever decisions that you're making, as long as it's right for you and as long as it's a legal thing to do. It's not
Please, me, I've met
like
African
a bad
parents.
thing.
Which one is people that love you? Let's support the decisions.
But even if that,
It's because they are short sighted. Let's say they are short
it's not
sighted.
even that. I feel as though or maybe I've just come to an age where I'm more friendly with my parents now, although my dad passed last year, but I'm no longer just their child. I'm their guy. I'm their friend. I used to disagree with my dad a lot. You tell me, e.g., my father had some issues with some of the TikToks I was making, and he would send me the link and say, "Oh, this, why did you say so?" And I'll be like, "Daddy, your sense of humor is different from my sense of humor. This is my reality. This is what I see. This is how I believe." You may not agree with it, but it's fine. You would need to figure out a way to put your foot down. You are not long.
Exactly.
And I think that's something that also happens when they see your growth. Me personally, I'm going to say something that I've said before. A number of people disagree with it because I've seen another TikTok. Some woman, there was this viral TikTok of this woman saying that a single woman should not be living alone. I personally believe that before a woman gets into a marriage, she should live alone. It teaches you a lot about responsibility, about what you like, what you wouldn't like. But there was this TikTok of this woman in I've forgotten what the page is called, some club, saying that you can say you live with your brother, you can live with family, but a woman shouldn't live alone, and she shouldn't even feel proud to say that she lives alone. That it drives men away. That why would a man want to be you? That it means you are. And I'm just like,
yeah, there's this ideology that you should go from your father's house to your husband's
house.
It boils out.
Always be under.
Is marriage in the scope for me? Which one did I should go for? Okay, so I should if I don't want to get married, I should stay in my father's house. I should not live. I personally, I love living alone.
I love
when I was
Living alone will even help you go.
Yes,
I like my space. I just like let me just know myself before I go and live with somebody else, because I come from a large family.
Yeah.
And then there are always people in my house. Like, just people should just wait. Let me just close my door for 1 minute. Auntie Sufiat, come on. I'm like, hey, God. So anytime I'm in school, no, my doors are locked. Sometimes I can spend days inside my house just reading books, watching movies. So yeah, definitely live alone. No?
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of women go from just their family house, their father's house, to their, let me not say their husband's house, they and their husband's house, but they don't particularly know what they like. They don't know what kinds of, what they call it, what kinds of traits their husband to be has. So they are very shocked when they enter into the home, and they're very shocked by some mannerisms that they haven't experienced before. But I feel like when you live alone, you get to know yourself, you get to know what you like, you get to know the nonsense you will take and the nonsense you will not take. But when you are now in the marriage and you've not realized that, that's when you start saying,
hey, wait. This is not what I signed up for. What's happening here? I mean, definitely, I love living alone. This whole women can have it all, but then you're not allowed to rent apartments when you are
single
single.
woman.
Yes, I was looking for an apartment, and then I remember the landlord just saying, "Oh, okay, I had the money to pay. I had the money, I had everything. Because nowadays, when you want to rent an apartment, it's like a full-blown contract.
it's a full
You bring money, you bring statement of accounts, you bring just
to fill a form.
you even bring guarantor and everything. Now I've done all this thing, and then the landlord was like, okay, are you married? I said no. He said, hey, I'm not married. I said no. So I said, I can't give you my house. So I like married people. They are coordinated, they are organized. I didn't even know. The agent should have told you since now. And I'm like, what's really happening here, sir? So I'm not married, so I can't get the house. I mean, it's actually crazy because you're telling me that I can have it all, but just the basic accommodation is not even available to me because there's no ring on my finger. It was actually so bad to a point I was like, wait,
Considered it, yeah?
Yeah, I was like, wait, let me just get a wedding ring and put it on my finger and just go and show this man and sir, I'm married. But I mean, to what end?
Yeah, to what end?
Yeah, what if the man shows up one day? Maybe he comes every day, every other week, and he's not seeing my husband. Or letting my husband is out of the country. When does the lie end? I mean, like, just give me the choice. I have everything.
Yeah, I also faced the same thing. I faced that, and I remember tweeting about it in 2019, and I got it was an entire conversation. A lot of them can't get housing because people agents are telling them landlord said you are single, so he doesn't want single women that have lots in his house. I work for a living. Like, I'm an actress. People have given you proof that I work. I've given you guarantors that are industry heavyweights, but you still say no. The first apartment that I wanted, I remember moving. So at some point I was living with my partner, and after we went our separate ways, I decided to get a place for myself. And the very first place that I wanted to get in Marwa Gardens, loved it. It was a really cute apartment. Thought, because I was the first person to see it, I was ready with the money. And the agent just called and said, I'm sorry, the landlady, it wasn't a landlord. The landlady said she does not want a single lady. And so because this kept happening, because that was my first, it was a shock to me. It had never happened. But it kept happening and happening. I was looking for a house for 3 months. And then by the time I got tired, I said, you know what? I'm on set. Can they give me ring props to just wait? And I was right there, I'm married. To be honest, I had collected the ring props. But by the time I was meant to see the next landlady, I just said, girls, she will say that I'm not married. Because I wanted to say, my husband lives abroad. She will say that he's not abroad, that nobody's coming. I just say, you know what, just go and tell this woman that you've been looking for us since. So I explained to her, my landlady she ended up being a sweetheart. I lived like in that house for 2 years. But that's not the case everywhere. A number of women are not getting houses because
it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense because you will not tell a man that you are not married, so I can't give you my house. It's never the case, or at least I've not heard of it. So what's so different? What's different between me and this man? I might even be any more than the man's I might even be. My character is very, very good because me, I can speak for myself. I have very good character, and this man now, he may be throwing parties every other day, but you will not allow me stay in this house. Why? What have I ever done to deserve this?
Other times, it's not even only because it's a single woman. It's because of your job, because of your occupation. I've been turned down like tens of times because I'm an actor.
And how does that relate to anything?
They say actors are wayward. Apparently,
this stereotype is crazy.
I was looking at houses last year. This was early last year before I got my present apartment. And I remember checking out a place. It was just beautiful. Windows everywhere. Very beautiful. Not like all these our Lagos houses have exactly wide windows. And I was so excited. I told my mom about it. We were ready. And then everybody, like agents had spoken, lawyer had spoken, they had spoken to me. And then they came back and said, the landlord said he's not comfortable with you being an actor. And I legit asked them, I'm like, can I send a message or an email to this? I called people that I know, James Omokwe, Ike Osakio-Dua. I'm just like, would you people mind speaking on my behalf? This man no grill. They said no, that he does not want that. So I'm just like, so my occupation is now a problem? What is actually wrong with my occupation? I'm working for a living. I'm making a living per month? Per week, because I'm on set every other week. But it's an issue.
Yeah, you shouldn't be happy because you know that your rent will never delay.
Right? That's funny.
The money doesn't come before you even ask for it.
It's just funny to me because the person's occupation doesn't directly affect you in any way. You're not family, so they can't say, because your sibling is so. Like, it doesn't directly affect them. So where is the issue?
Well, if the person is, let's say the person is wayward. Well, what does that have to do with your house?
That's my point. Yes.
A few, say maybe 2 years ago, I wasn't sure that I wanted to have kids. I remember the incident that made me start thinking, I'm not sure I want to have kids. I remember being in my sister's house, and I told her this story recently. I told her a few months ago because I've now changed my mind. But I was in her house. Their first daughter, my niece, my lovely niece, I think maybe she was like 1.5 or so. And she stood in a spot. She's yellow. She stood in a spot and was crying for 45 minutes. She was vibrating. She was hot. Like everybody was feeling it. I tried to carry her. My sister no gree. As in like my niece rather. Her father tried to carry her. He didn't agree. My sister was pregnant with her second child at the time. And so she was overwhelmed. She was tired. So she just sat down and she was like when she's ready, she will stop. This baby did not stop.
Ew.
And so at some point, after about 45 minutes, my sister then goes and picks her child. This girl stops crying immediately. And in that moment, I was just like, there's no independence. I can't have a life. So you can't cry and just decide, oh yeah, just because you want me to carry you. In that moment, I just started thinking, I'm not sure that I can do this. I love my space a little too much. I love being alone a little too much. Am I really sure that I want to do this? So it was a whole thing for me. And when I tried to have conversations with people, I felt judged immediately. People said I was selfish. And I've seen several women that have also made these statements. And people just say, if you're a woman and you don't want to have a child, you are selfish. Why is that the case? Why are people being judged? Why are people being judged for choices that it's not by force to have a child, is it? And everybody that I ever had the conversation with, nobody ever said is valid. It was always a case of, I eventually changed my mind, but it was always a case of, you change your mind. But there are some women that don't really change their minds. They're very fine with not having children, but society just shames them for it.
No, it's not possible. Now, why do you have a womb but you don't want to use it? Why?
That's
what society says. Why do you have a womb but you don't want to use it? It's like, it's fine. Not everybody wants kids. I mean, you guys pressure people to have kids so much that some people don't even know what to do.
What to do with children?
Yeah.
People don't even know how to take care of children.
Bad parents. Yes. Then we are the ones that also come and say, "Oh, you're not a bad parent."
Regardless.
It doesn't make any sense. And now that he says, actually remember, I think the pressure that I've been facing recently is marriage. Yeah. So I'm 25, and honestly, I've never been that girl that. Let me just say, I've never aspired to marry. Right? Back when I was younger in secondary school, when my friends used to say, "Oh, I want to get married by 22." Me, I just looked at it. I was like, 22. I said, "No, 20. I cannot get married at 22." I was like, okay. When I was 16, I was like, okay, let me put it at 25. Maybe by that time, maybe I could don't settle on everything. And then when I go to uni, I have to strike this one, that one. I say, no. Let's push it to 27. Now that I'm done with uni, I'm like, okay, maybe 29, 30. And then anytime I say, because I'm like, my brothers are like, oh, when do you want to get married? I'm like, maybe in my late 20s. I don't want to tell anyone. I don't say 30. Yeah, I don't want to say it because if I say 30,
everybody could just.
So I'm just like, maybe 28, 29. My auntie was I think a few weeks ago. She just entered my room. She was like, so Sufiat, how far now? Your boyfriend? I was like, so you're not boyfriend anyway. Give me boyfriend, And then she was like, oh no, I want you. I'm by 28. I'm giving you 28. I should
You know what's funny about this? When we were younger, it was still our parents that would say, don't talk to parents. Don't do this. Or society will say, don't talk to boys. All of a sudden, you come out of university. Then they're like, when are you bringing somebody home?
Yes.
Well, I think I don't actually feel pressure from my father and my mother. Because when I was in 200 level, when I came home, I saw the way my mother was moving. I said, hey, mommy, look. It's not that when I graduate now, I'll be hearing, when are you bringing a man? No, the only thing you should pray for is when I bring a man, you should be like a man that is a man, that knows what he's doing. It's not that you come and be telling me, when I bring him. My father, I feel like my father does not even have conversations with me. So when he wants to have conversations, he'll have it through my mother. And then my mother will tell my mother has not told me anything, then he has not had any conversation. But I remember when I was in SS3, we just finished work, and then my friends were strolling through my street, and then they passed my street. They were guys, because there was this big mango tree inside my compound. And they're like, oh, Sophie, how are you? My father was at home. I said, hey, God, you can't think with this. And I was like, I was like, hi, how are you guys doing? He said, fine. Through the gate, and they're like, oh, we saw mango. We want to pluck mango. I said, okay, no problem. And then I called my brother. I was like, come and bring the key. I didn't know that my father was inside the house. He was watching. My brother came to tell me. He came back. He said, Daddy said there's no key. I said, and you guys, we can't find the key, but you don't worry, I'll bring mango to school. You don't worry. And I'm like, And then he went to tell my mother, like, oh, so where's Kim? What rubbish is that? And my mother was like, oh, are you trying to say that she can't have male friends? And I was like, oh, that she can have, but not in my house. So me, I'm waiting for my father to come and say, when are you getting married? And I will bring up that story. I said, Daddy, he said, what now? I thought you said I can't have male friends in your house. So I'm like, no, I don't feel pressure from my parents right now. It's extended family members and friends that were just like, oh, marriage, oh, you should be bringing a husband home. Oh. I'm like, I'm not even ready for. I'm not even financially. I don't even have money. I don't have money. People are talking about husband. What will I eat first? People should give me job. I'm unemployed. What are we talking
I
about?
remember in GS3, it was either GS2 or GS3. You remember midnight calls? I was on a midnight call with one boy.
Yeah.
I was just talking. To be honest, because I know the next line I'll say will make it seem like we're talking rubbish, but we're not talking rubbish. He was begging me for something, and I said I like it when you beg me. Hold on, you guys, hold on. This was at like 2:30 a.m. I was in the kitchen making these calls. 2:30 a.m. My father, apparently he had heard part of the conversation. Then my father walked in, and then I was like, okay, you know what? I'll talk to you tomorrow. So I got up the call. At 6:30 a.m., my sister came to wake me up. Daddy's call lady in this way. My father sat me down, said he doesn't understand what I'm doing, that I'm penning a boy on the phone.
I like it when you beg me.
It was a whole thing. My phone was collected from me. Now, fast forward last year. This was before my father passed. Fast forward last year. My dad and I were just and he goes, so do I have a steady boyfriend?
Steady boyfriend.
You punishing me for saying that. That's what he's here asking. My dear, we love them. There's something I want to go back to. You know, we spoke about how if your partner asks you to, stop working, would you do?
That's a very tough one, though.
I like an ambitious person, right? So I'm this kind of person that I need people to push me. Yeah, like I'll push myself, but I would love to have a partner that I'm seeing you work, like I'm seeing the ginger, and you're giving me ginger to work, because I'm like, if you're doing this much, let me be doing this much too. Like, let me put in the work, because what am I really doing with my life? But if you want to be a stay-at-home father, no, it will work. It won't be compatible. Yeah, that's just it. But if I didn't need somebody to push me, fine, no problem. But no, it won't work.
For me, it just depends. Like, why do you want to stay at home? I don't know. But in this moment, no, like, what's your reason for quitting the job? We can eat off his family.
You take care of his family.
Take care of the family without you quitting the each other wife's joy. It's just true. There must be a stay at home that.
Yes, that's valid.
No, that's the Yoruba girl in me will not agree. I feel like in a way I agree with
Coming man. Coming man.
I don't know. I feel like it would definitely help, like, career-wise for me. But it depends on his reason. It depends on his thought process in that moment. Like, why do you want to take a back seat from it? Like, let me hear how you sleep. Because I feel like depending on what, like, maybe it could even be he's going through something, or maybe the working environment is not even conducive enough.
In case he just wants to stay. He's not going through anything. He just feels like he would enjoy being a stay-at-home dad. He's not going through anything.
So I'll be the one shouldering on you.
Stay-at-home dad. Yeah. You know, there are a lot of remote works nowadays. Is he going to see?
He wants to
be a house husband.
Yes. But to me, you can see the economy now. It's the economy.
But what if you can shoulder the responsibility? Would you leave him?
Chimobimo
For real.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I'm sorry, I can't. No.
Okay, so we know that not all.
Now they will say double standard.
Oh, what? Hi.
That's true.
Double standard.
No, I personally, I'm not a fan of that. I prefer. So something for me is I'm attracted to people that are good at their jobs. It's a huge thing for me. If you're not good at your job, I'm sorry, I can't date you. Like, let's say I can't date an actor personally. I'm not a fan of dating an actor, but let's imagine you are an actor and you're not a good actor. I personally can't be attracted to. So people's jobs, how good they are at their jobs, how successful they are, is a driving force for me, and the attraction that I feel towards them. So if my partner says he would like to be a stay-at-home husband, I would not be a fan of that. I would like to have a conversation.
But what if he's good at taking care of the kids? That's a job.
The cocoa is what was the question? We had fine with it. I'm not fine with it. I'm not. I wouldn't come.
Well, I mean, think about this thing now. It's not a double standard.
It is. I'm being very honest. It is a double standard. I'm not lying. It is it's a double standard, and I'm standing by it.
I know it's actually a double.
Being on a project, I had done the first season of the project, and we weren't paid great, but it was decent. I was a nobody at the time, and I was very excited for the. Which one are you laughing now? I was very excited for the opportunity. I loved the script, and so we shot it. And then season 2 of this same project comes, and I'm being negotiated with, and I think they offer me at the time, maybe this was like 4 years ago. At the time, I think they offered me 500,000 to shoot for 2 weeks. And I was very taken aback because I'm like, I thought the first season of our show did pretty well. But I was just like, you know what? Maybe the money was, I'm the one that is over imagining the money. And I felt like they have my back. We're all family members. Mistake, they will say. I just felt like they have my back. And so I'm just like, you know what? Don't ask for too much. It's fine. You people that are offering, you are saying 500. Let's do 700. On the first day of shoots, I was having a conversation with my co-star, my male lead. I was the female lead. And he says, Teniola, how much are they paying you? First of all, I'm very thankful for conversations like that. In my industry, a lot of people hide how much they earn. And I tell him 700,000. He flipped. He was mad. He was upset. And I'm also thankful for men that stand up for women. He was livid. He was like, first of all, I told you after after the first season that I would ask for this range. That why would you agree to 700,000? And then he told me how much he was. First of all, I was only 700,000 naira. I signed contract for 700,000 naira. He was being paid in dollars, thousands of dollars. So I imagine calling me shocked when I was like, Teniola, wow. You were really family member. You sent yourself into and he was like, I should go back and renegotiate. I said, I can't go back and say it. So I've already signed my contract. I've already had a discussion. I can't do that. And then I call people that I look up to in the industry, Ike, James Omokwe, Ike Osakweduwa, and I tell them this is what is happening. I felt very hurt. I was very hurt. And Ike said, you will do the work. You've already signed the contract, you've negotiated. But if they come back for another season, you can then call your millions. But something funny happened because I wasn't going to call the producers. My co-star calls the producer and he's like, I'm very disappointed. Because I'm being told that Tenny is any so and so. This show, now both of us, what is going on? Why is there such a disparity? You pay me this and you're paying her that? And then producer calls me, he has a conversation, this, and then they finally up. It was nowhere near. It was nowhere near my co-star. So it was up, and I was very thankful for my co-star, my male lead in that point, because I felt like I couldn't speak up for myself, but he was able to speak up from. What do you think that we need more of those kinds of situations? Men should stand up for women.
So I feel like women need to have that kind of audacity too, because at the end of the day, if you know you are worth more than what they are offering you, even if you think it's okay, or like, don't allow yourself to agree to such. Like, actually put your foot down and tell them, can we negotiate this price? And there was this interview they had with one of these big men that own like hire agents now. So in their statistics, they mentioned that majority of women that they interviewed for the job never tried to negotiate the salary. But you would see that more men would negotiate than women who would. So I think we actually do need to like have some of that strong head and like really, sometimes you have to fight their walls with
the place for the guys when I have two sides of me. The last interview I went for, and at the end of the interview, she was like, "Oh, because sometimes they put it on LinkedIn, like the amounts they are going to pay you." So at the end of the interview, she was like, "Oh, what's your expected pay?" So I called the pay that I saw there, and she was like, "Oh, it was but it just felt like,
oh, you are fine with that?"
Yeah. And my head was like, Sufiat, you don't mess messed up. And then I remember calling my friend. I was like, this had interview. He said, no, that's not what you do. She said, I didn't know now. But then next time I'm going to. So yeah, definitely.
I think it's very okay to put your foot down and to walk away. Yeah. I know that sometimes I'm speaking out of privilege, like from a place of privilege. But I do know that in the last couple of years, I've been very okay saying no to certain projects because I'm just like, I deserve better than that. I feel I've been working for the past, 12 years. I should be earning more than this. And sometimes they will go and then they will come back and say, oh, pardon us. Actually, now we're offering you this amount. I'll be like, oh, thank you, bless. But other times they'll be like, no, we're sorry, that's the best we can. Good luck to you. You will find somebody that works for you.
Right.
But it is okay to say no.
Yes.
I think just that it's okay to say no as a woman.
But in Nigeria,
Yeah, like
I
I
think
said,
we're too
place
scared
of
of
privilege.
judgment.
Yeah.
from now on,
And there's scarcity mentality.
the economy is tough. So
Yeah.
But the thing is, I feel like there's no harm in trying. You could still try. It's a negotiation, so you could either both of you could keep going up, or you could find somewhere to meet each other in the middle. So I feel like it being a negotiation doesn't mean like you can always meet anywhere.
Anywhere.
So even if they think
And if
the
they're
way
not
you're
willing to
calling,
go up, unka,
if they're not willing to, and if you think okay, what they're offering is actually okay, but you would just want some more, then you negotiate. Okay, can I have
they say
some
no.
more? If they say no and you are still okay with the one that they are calling, then you can agree to it. But if you know if it's
You're
something
okay
that
with
is
it.
too small, like you cannot even, then yes, now
Back out.
So in rounding up our lovely episode today, what advice would you say that you have for younger women as regards having it all?
I mean, just do what you want, honestly, because at the end of the day, it's your life. It's your life. Nobody's going to live it for you.
Yeah.
In the next 50 years, you want to be able to look back on your life and say, yes, I did.
Yeah, I made these choices and I
You don't want to look back and regret and say, oh, I wish I did this. I wish I did that. There's no time. Time is not waiting for you. Time is money. Money can buy time.
Yeah.
So here, do what you want and just, yeah, basically, just do what you want. The society will adjust. That's just what I'm
like for me, it goes back to that stronger thing. Women need to stand their ground.
Yes.
That's going to be my mantra for this entire month.
It saves you a lot of this thing. It saves you a lot of stiffing. It saves you a lot of embarrassment. It gives you what you want. Because if you stand for it, then people will see you are not budging, and they will eventually leave you to get what you want to get. So I think more you should actually stand your ground. Be stubborn about what you want.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you go for it, people will judge you. If you don't go for it, people will still judge you. People will always have opinions.
Yeah.
And you can't even ask people to have opinions because we're humans. Everybody's entitled to have their opinions. But I think it's your reaction to their opinion that really matters. Because at the end, you have to do what's right for you. What you know is good for you, regardless of what anybody has to say about it.
I would say that also piggybacking off of what you said, women should stand their ground. Young women should make their choices without fear of being opposed. Make your choice for yourself. Don't make it for other people. There will be societal pressure, there will be family pressure, there will be professional pressure, but make your choices for you. What works for you may not work. What works for me may not work for Sufiat. What works for me may not work for Precious. So do what works for you. And I would also say that women ought to stop judging other women for the choices that they make for themselves. And they also stop projecting on other women. What you want is not what Sufiat wants. What Sufiat wants is not what Precious wants. Yeah.
I think that whole this thing, it's because we have a lot of unhappy women that are unhappy.
Why are they unhappy? They're unhappy
Because
they didn't make choices.
They
when
made
they were
wrong
supposed to make
choices.
choices.
And instead of your choices, for example, your choice of partner, be very thorough with it.
Yeah.
Because if you end up with the wrong person, you are going to be very unhappy too. And if there's a long trend of having unhappy women, they might not even be intentionally doing it. They don't know that they are actually translating their own problems into other people.
I mean, but
So I
I
think
think
you
you
need
need
to
to go back and leave the person. It's not the end of the world.
That's another topic, but that's not the one we're discussing today, guys.
So I think that's just it. Like you need to be very thorough in, even when you're making these decisions for yourself, be very thorough about it. Make sure you know that what you're doing, think of the long run. So don't just be very thorough in whatever decision you're making, and make sure you're making the right decision that will not haunt you later.
And that's what she said.
And that's what she said. Guys, this has been a very, very lovely, very insightful episode of That's What She Said. I want to thank my co-hosts for being with me here today.
You're welcome. Don't mention.
Thank you guys so much for being with us today. Can't wait to see you again on the next episode.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.